Hi, I'm Michael Boyce. I'm the Director of Sales Engineering for nlyte Software. We're based here in Menlo Park, California. nlyte was founded by data center professionals, and there were two guys that ran data centers for UBS. They went out in the marketplace, looked for a DCIM solution, couldn't find one, so they decided to build nlyte from the ground up. And kind of the key differentiation for us is we're kind of built by data center professionals for data center professionals. So we've walked a mile in the shoes of our customers. We also have built a very data-centric data model, so we can talk to other applications through our open APIs. So we can bring in real-time power values, we can talk to building management systems, networking systems, etc. It's all data to us. We bring the data in, and then the graphics engine actually builds the drawings and the pictures for you within the nlyte application. If it's okay, I'd like to show you a demonstration.
Sure, let's have a look and
Sure.
you can tell us about how it works.
The first thing I wanted to point out is nlyte is 100% browser-based. There's no client software to be installed. So from a deployment perspective, it's very easy. You can extend it to the entire organization. All they need is internet access in the browser. I can have role-based security, so the Senior Vice President of Operations, for example, can log in and just see their reports or their dashboards, versus the data center team or the facility team can see their information, from work tickets to doing searches to their reports as well. Our process cycle kind of encompasses what's going on in the day of the life of a data center manager. And it all really starts out with discovery. So as you look at the DCIM market and the different vendors, the question always comes out with, how do we get the information into nlyte? How do we start the process? So what we've done is we've got a Discover module. It's an agentless discovery tool. It goes out and scans the network, and it finds all the devices inside the data center. It reconciles those devices against the assets already in nlyte and tells you any exceptions. So for example, if there's 500 devices on the network, but there's only 498 in nlyte, it'll show you the two that are mismatches.
Okay.
So it's a management by exception tool. You also are ensured that way that the information is kept up to date. Now for some customers that may have some smaller systems or they want to bring in data from other applications, we have a bulk data management tool that allows us to take data in a spreadsheet format or an Access database format and automatically load it quickly and easily right into nlyte. So the bulk data management tool plus the agentless discovery tool allows us to keep the information up to date quickly and easily. From a visualization perspective now, once the data is loaded in nlyte, we can drill down into a floor plan. Now the floor plan here, I can pick any one of the rooms inside the portfolio. I'll choose the silver room, for example. And let's go ahead and take a look at the silver room. So we first bring in a Visio or an AutoCAD drawing, and we convert it to a picture or a PNG file. So this will be rendered in Flex. It is an intelligent picture though, because I can take objects here as I zoom in, and I can grab this object with the select tool, and I can actually drop and drag it to a different part of the data center, and it'll update the grid tile positions. If I want to select a cabinet and rotate it around, I can grab the corner of that cabinet and I can rotate it around 360 degrees if I wanted to as well. By clicking on File Save, I can update the data in the database. So the picture has business intelligence underneath it to update the SQL database, but this picture and the database are never out of sync. Now also we can run capacity reports. I have a list here of about 20 or so capacity reports. So in other words, without having to walk the floor, I can see what's going on in my Phoenix data center, in my New York City data center, without even getting up out of my seat. How much free use space is left in each cabinet? What cabinet belongs to what group? Or for colo customers, belongs to what customer, for example? Patch ports free, fiber ports free, remaining power, remaining cooling, even down to real-time power value as well. If I click apply, now it's going to color code the cabinets, and I'll go ahead and zoom back out.
And the color coding is based on the density, right?
That's right. So here, if I'm looking at my blue and my greens, they're coming out about 2 to 3 kW per cabinet. And that's okay. But here in the yellow areas, now I'm starting to get into a little higher threshold. So I can select the object, and it can be a cabinet, it can be a crack unit, It could be a PDU, it can be a formatted server, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to select the cabinet. I'm going to view this in our 3D cabinet planner.
Oh.
So this takes objects from our materials catalog and actually models what the cabinet looks like right now. We track the entire life cycle of the asset, so all the way from an active operational state to a planned moving state to a planned decommissioned state. So I can see not only what's in the cabinet today, but also any pending changes to that cabinet as well. The pending changes are done through our control module, which we use as workflow.
Okay.
On the right-hand side as well, you'll see heat gauge. The heat gauge can be set with a value for a threshold and a limit, and this is tied to the amount of kilowatts of power being produced or consumed by the devices in this cabinet. And we can convert that to heat as well. I can now take the cabinet and I can spin this 360 degrees. So I can see height, width, and depth of all the devices inside that cabinet. Why that's important is data center managers are now using half-depth servers. They're racking servers both in the front and the rear of the cabinet. It didn't happen a few years ago. So it's really important to be able to model and view that cabinet in its full entirety. Front, back, side, weight, etc. So we take a look at the servers. We can go down one more level now, actually to the asset view. And here I'll pick this Sun device. You'll see the picture on the right-hand side. That comes right from our material catalog.
Okay.
We actually update our catalog once a week and make the updates available on an FTP site. The customer can then log into that FTP site at their choice and download the updates to the catalog. So nlyte is always kept up to date and fresh with all the current equipment. If there was a KVM connection, we can track that. I'm tracking the power connections for this server, all the way back to what power strip, what PDU, what UPS, what generator is supporting the infrastructure for this. If this had card connections, I can also look at the card connections in here as well. So here I've got NIC cards for both fiber and copper, and I can trace all of the hops right here within nlyte. So I can see in the back of the server the actual port, which patch panel port it's plugged into, any of the traces for MDF cabinets, etc., all the way back to the actual copper module. And I can select and just view what that copper module is. It opens up another tab here on the top of the screen, so multiple browser windows open. If you forget where you were, you can go back to the server tab just by clicking on it, and then go back to the network tab. So very quickly and easily, we can have information right at our fingertips. Because for the data center manager, they need near real-time information quickly to make those decisions that are going to impact the business, impact the data center process as well. And so lastly, is we kind of get from control now into our business analytics piece, and that's what we're really excited about here at Gartner, announcing nlyte 6.0. We've come out with a new nlyte analytics module, and that's really broken up into three components. There's operational reports, there's dashboards, and then there's nlyte Predict. So the operational reports, what we've done here is we've taken the standard reports from our legacy nlyte application out of Crystal. We've rewritten them into Microsoft reporting services. Now you can view the report right here through the browser, and if you're, say, the Senior Vice President of Operations, you have 5 reports that you need run every day at 1 o'clock on Friday, for example, to go to Change Control Board meeting. We can schedule those reports and have them in your inbox ready for you before the meeting actually starts. Our Predict module allows us to create projects. Say, for example, a tech refresh. Say, for example, a data center migration. And we could schedule those projects out into the future, and then we can run a baseline analysis on the health of the data center, plus those projects, and see where we stand this summer, this fall, coming up on space, power, cooling, and connectivity. And then what we're really excited about are visibility, seeing it in a dashboard view. So let's say, for example, you're the Senior Vice President of Data Center Operations. You might be managing, say, 30 sites worldwide. When you come in on Monday morning at 7 o'clock, you want to log in and see the operational dashboard. So as you see here on the bottom of the screen, we have about 8 or 9 dashboards that we're going to ship standard with the product. But we're also going to give you our dashboard manager which allows you to edit any of these dashboards or build a dashboard from scratch yourself using drop and drag technology. So here's our main operational dashboard. You'll see here on the top we can look at our space utilization, power utilization, cooling utilization, network utilization, maybe a breakdown of the assets, or the number of work tickets that have been processed or in the queue for the last few months. So really, for the very first time, a data center site manager can get a single pane of glass on all of his capacities and the current state as well as the future state within one dashboarding application. That's what you're seeing here in nlyte. So this is actually reading right from the OLAP cube. So this information can come from not only the nlyte data store, but also from real-time information such as APC power strips, building management systems, any other types of devices that provide information.
Well, listen, we obviously got a lot of capabilities here. It covers a lot of territory. If folks are interested in learning more, what's a good way for them to find
Great.
it?
Best way to reach us is www.nlyte.com. Lots of information on the website. We have a blog. You can follow us on Twitter. Lots of ways to communicate with us.
Okay, listen, thanks so much for taking the time to walk us through it.
All right, thanks, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Okay.